Yeah, of course, the Athletics are going to be down in Florida taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Our next guest, you remember him back in the day playing for the Oakland Athletics. He now does television for the Tampa Bay Rays. Matt Joyce with us once again. Man, it's been, I think 2018 was the last time I did an interview with you.
2018, yeah, it flies. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. But it's been it's been a minute since I've been there.
It's great to see you. How are things down there in St. Pete?
Yeah, it's getting hotter. I'll tell you that. It's definitely getting hotter. The Rays have been hot, and then the weather's getting hotter with the team. So they've been fun to watch this first week of the season, and it's honestly it's kind of hard not being out there, especially with the new rules and the shift being regulated, especially as a lefty pull hitter. So, but no, we're having fun so far.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. You played in an era where we started to see games start to take forever. Now it's 3+ hours. We're seeing 3:30. We're seeing all the shifting. So now that you're seeing it, obviously you're doing TV now, but as you mentioned, you would love to play in this game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, from a fan standpoint, I can tell you I like the pace and I like the adjustments that they're making a lot better. It just seems like there's a better flow to the game. And there were so many times as a player and you're standing in the outfield and you're like, come on, get in the box, or, man, throw the ball already, right? And so I don't know if it's necessarily perfect, right? Like there's times where I was just speaking with Liriano before the game, and he's like, he feels a little rushed. He feels like it's a little bit too fast. Like he got jammed on a ball and his hand is still ringing and he's got to get in the box still to face, this guy when his hand is still blown up and he can barely hold the bat. And you only get one timeout. And so, again, I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for the game.
You remember those epic long games you guys would have against the Yankees or the Red Sox back in the day? They'd take forever.
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good track record against the Yankees, if I'm not mistaken. I remember one series we swept them four straight right around July 4th, and man, I tell you what, it was a fun series.
When I think about this current team, we've been watching them for years, and we've always said, and I remember talking to you about this back in the day, how the A's and the Rays are so similar on how you do things on the field and the issues that they have off the field with trying to get a new ballpark. So
yeah.
when you look at this success to start the season, I know it's early and everybody says it's early, but my God, how would you not want to start like this?
Yeah, no, you're spot on. And I played for both teams, played for both organizations, and how they build their teams, how they operate. Obviously they're both very analytical and trying to crunch the numbers and build from within and trade the players that just get a little bit too expensive for some top prospects to obviously help them develop and really kind of lean on their younger guys and it's hard to argue with success, right? The Rays have had a lot of success doing it. Obviously the A's have had their good years, and so again, if you don't have a massive market and a massive budget, this is how you have to operate. So both teams have done a great job doing that. I would love to see both of these teams, have a new home that, guys are really excited about. Because I can tell you playing in Oakland and it was more so the facilities. They were just old. They were outdated, right? Like sometimes you would hear horror stories about the toilets backing up and just little things like that where you're like, man, like, then you're supposed to be in the big leagues. You want to feel like you're playing in the big leagues. Not that you're playing in single A baseball. Like you go through those ranks and you feel like you earn the right to be at the big league level and to be treated at the top. So again, even from a Rays standpoint, as a fan growing up in Tampa, I would love to see them have a new stadium that would be over in Tampa preferably, but again, it's sometimes it's really challenging to find the right fit. Right. And there's a lot of things that go into making something like that happen. So, again, it's going to be fun little series to watch and looking forward to it. I don't know what team to root for here, though. So kind of pulled in two different ways.
Well, yeah, you're obviously, I know they're just doing a list. They got you down as one of the all-time great Rays. So it's going to be okay if you're pulling for the Rays. What a career you had with them. And when I think about this Rays team, we always talk so much about how creative the Rays are going to be, especially with their pitching. But right now with this starting staff, You tell that opener to stay down in the bullpen. You've got such a starting staff right right now. It's impressive.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is obviously what they build around. They build around their starting pitching, and obviously, and these guys in the back end. And they count and rely on them to really slam the door shut, right? So obviously, they miss Glass now. He's out with a side injury, but they obviously, have enough depth for these guys to fill in and do the job. To keep them in the game and give them another really good shot at winning a ball game. So. I feel like ever since I played there, the pitching was always the highlight. It was always the star where it was like, man, we got these guys, but look at these guys coming, And so, again, the Rays have done a phenomenal job of really building from within and getting these top prospects through big trades, and been fun to watch them develop.
When you look at Wander out there as such a young kid, just talk about how special he is, how he truly is a future star in our game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was really surprised. I was still playing, and when you're playing, you're kind of focused on your own thing and doing your own thing, and then you kind of hear of Wander Franco, and this guy is 19, 20 years old, and they signed him to a big contract. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of money for the Rays, right? You don't see that too often, and when you see him. Not only take batting practice, but you see him throughout the game, you can tell that his skills are at a different level. And what I mean by that, his hand-eye coordination, his ability to put the bat on the ball consistently is off the charts. It's really off the charts. And I told somebody the other day, I was like, this guy can win a batting title. Like his hand-eye coordination is that good. His ability to his balance, when you look at his swing, you look at his getting to that consistent launch position over and over in the same position. He's not lunging. He's not rushed. He's not, he puts himself in really good hitting positions, and it allows his hands to work really well. His hands work really well. And so, one of the things for me, it was like, I still think he has more power that he's going to grow into. And I think he's doing a good job of doing it this year. He's using his legs a little bit more to drive the ball. But again, his hands are off the charts. That's what makes him really special.
When you start looking at the AL East, everybody's good now. Baltimore's not a slouch that everybody's going to beat up on 19 times. How do you handicap this division, what we've seen so far and what you expected going into the year?
Yeah, well, Baltimore's got some young talent. I think they still have some developing to do. But again, it's really the powerhouses. It's the guys like the Yankees. I mean, honestly, the Blue Jays are going to be a team that is going to surprise a lot of people. Although, if you watch baseball and you've seen who they have, like, they're not going to surprise you because they are stacked with guys like Bichette and Guerrero and Chapman. Obviously, you guys, I know the A's would have loved to keep him, but he's a real special talent over at third base. So. They're stacked, but I think those are the two teams that the Rays are kind of eyeing to keep an eye on, where it's like, all right, this is who our real competition is going to be. And again, for me, it was always head down, take care of our own business. As long as you take care of your own business, everything else will work out and take care of itself. So as a player, I don't think they're looking at other teams worrying about them. I think they're trying to handle their own business and win here today, and obviously this series. But in the division-wise, as a fan, as an analyst, I would say those two teams really stick out in this division.
Well, not only the Rays have been winning, but they've been winning by 4 runs or more. I mean, you start out the gate, beat people by 4 runs or more, 6 straight. That's saying something about your offense.
Yeah, I think that was a big concern going into this year. These guys, had a big question mark in the playoffs. They didn't really score a lot of runs. And then everybody's like, all right, well, they got to go out and get a big left-handed bat to help them with their offense. And when they didn't do that, obviously, I think that caused a lot of concern, a lot of question marks. People were questioning a lot of the moves that they made. Obviously, their big move was signing Eflin. And obviously, man, they're firing on all cylinders. They have some guys, some young guys, and Luke Raley and Josh Lowe, who have provided that left-handed pop so far this first week of the season. And so I think, especially Raley made some really nice adjustments in his mechanics and cleaned up some stuff. He had a great spring training and is really carrying it well into the regular season, and came up with some big homers there last series against the Nationals. So again, it's really nice when you're a hitter and you can rely. You don't have so much pressure that you are the one doing all the work. All the pressure's on you to provide the power, right? Like these guys have like 8 different guys that have hit homers, this season. So when you're able to do that, you're able to relax a little bit and say, all right, let me just do what I can. Let me do my job. Let me get a good pitch hit. Let me square something up. I don't have to go and hit a home run. I don't have to go hit 30, 40 home runs to really carry this team. So again, that's really nice for guys like Wander. It's nice for guys like Randy, who are in the middle of the order, and obviously they have the bigger expectations. But to be able to relax and be comfortable and go to work, I think it helps throughout the lineup.
Let's end on this. You lost somebody in the Rays family, and Dave Wills was so good to us here on A's Cast Live. Always joined us, whether like this from the Trop or he would come down. We do the show on the field in Oakland. He was a friend of our program. It was just so sad when we heard the news, and I know it's got to be very tough for everybody there with the Rays family.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, man. It's really heartbreaking, and for all of us, we never really know, when it's your last day, and you try to make the most of it. But Dave was he was a pleasure to be around. His energy and his attitude was really infectious, and obviously, to your point, man, in the Rays family, there's a little hole there that you can't really fill, and he's missed every day, and he was a big part of the organization, and obviously you really appreciate people that enjoy their work and obviously have that kind of impact on the people around them. So he's missed a lot.
Well, I just had to say it's good to see it. It's been a while. We're happy for your success there doing the TV in Tampa, and let's do this again this season.
Let's do it. I'm in.
All right, you do well.
Okay, right. Sounds good. I'm going to go do some pre and post, so we'll see how it goes.
Take care.
Okay, all right. Thanks for having me. Talk to you.